Boo.
The pedestrian has the right of way, and you will kick it off with your 3 stories with your first tonight. Let me try to get the music queued up and ready.
All right, the first story this evening is called 4th of July Neighbors. This happened about 3 years ago on the 4th of July. I'm a child of 2 divorced parents, and I had to rotate between both of my parents on holidays every year. This year, it was my dad's turn to spend 4th of July with me. My dad had recently bought this new house about a few months prior to this incident. So this was going to be the first time he could invite the whole family over and do some barbecuing in the backyard. For the most part, it was a great day. It was sunny, and the whole family was back there chatting, laughing, drinking, and eating ribs and burgers. All the kids were in the front yard playing. All my cousins and second cousins and various family friends were there also, including my younger sister. We were all playing, and the other kids were on the roof looking at the stars. It was around 7 p.m., and we had all just finished our burgers and hot dogs in the backyard. We were running to the front yard to this narrow hose trail on the side of my dad's house that connects the backyard to the front yard. I didn't mention this, but my dad's neighbors had always been really quiet and mysterious. I'd never even seen them walk out the house. That house had a really big and awkwardly placed window that had the entire overlook of my dad's house. I remember running to the front yard with kids when a bright orange light catches my attention. Someone in that house had turned the lights on. This really pale woman with an oversized head peeks through the window. She has the perfect view of all of us. She was thin, had dark hair and really narrow eye sockets, almost as if she had lines for eyes. I stand there, looking at her frozen in place. She was incredibly eerie and looked almost non-human. She had a grin as wide as a ruler and a gaze that just petrified me. I couldn't even describe this fully, and no one noticed. I was the only one looking at her. Looking into her eyes, or as if I was looking into a dead and soulless being. It's almost as if she was empty and evil. Then she extended her arm outside the window and pointed it directly at me for a few minutes. Her fingers thin and long, and her nails were stained black. Her eyes widened, and I can't explain how scared for my life I was. The best I can explain it was, she kind of looked like that Momo character on steroids. I remember fainting and waking up in my sister's bedroom in the house. To this day, I still don't know who she was and why she looked like that.
Wow.
It's a creepy person.
Would this ruin the 4th of July or what?
So this was a younger kid, I gathered from the way this was written. They were talking about bouncing between families, right, for during the holidays. So I would assume this would definitely ruin a little kid's 4th of July, big time.
The description of this woman is crazy. So, huge head.
Yeah.
Let's back up. She was looking in the window?
She was looking, all right, so the window overlooked the house, and the kids saw her in the window looking out at them. Yeah, so she had huge head, pale, dark, scraggly hair, thin, like, slits for eyes almost, kind of thing, like squinting perpetually. Then she had long, thin fingers with blackened fingernails. Really creepy. You know, you can see, like, there's probably just some random old woman that looks like this to a little kid, especially at night. But still, that would scare me as a kid.
Yeah, this is a creepy one as a kid, and just happens to be on this certain day.
I think that what feels so fun about it, though, because, like, this is a classic kid summer story, you know, of, like, a creature next door. Yeah. I liked it for that.
Man, just and I think the crazy part is we remember such detailed things when we're young, like, but not certain other things. But in this particular one, we do, because it was significant. Like, all the facial features, and like you just said, the fingernails, he described it perfectly. I'm actually picturing, like, fingernails that look like they were, like, hit with a hammer, you know, like bruises over on the tip.
Yeah,
get yourself
something
with a
like
hammer.
that. Yeah.
No real, again, like, we have a lot of these stories. There's no real answers.
Yeah, just this really creepy person next door. Kind of like we had like a lot of creepy people stories here recently. And so I don't know. I read that one. I was like, man, this sounds fun. I mean, it's a little bit scary, a little bit creepy. It is from a kid's perspective, so
You think
like,
anybody believes the kid?
not a chance.
Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but how old was this person?
They didn't say, but they did mention they were probably younger because they weren't hanging out with the older kids on the roof.
Yeah. I mean, I have younger daughters, right? And it's told me that, I'd be like, yeah, it's bullshit. I wouldn't say bullshit to them, but I'd be thinking that the whole time, right?
Yeah. Just leave the neighbors alone. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Quit. Exactly. I don't know, though. It had to be terrifying to this kid, though. I have no doubt about that.
I don't know if you ever seen that Momo before.
I haven't. So hold on. Let me look it up.
So this was a creepypasta thing that went around for a little bit there.
You said Momo.
Yeah, Momo.
Oh, golly.
They said it looked like that on steroids, like more amped up and scarier than that.
Somebody's selling something with it. Okay, see if I can see it here.
Yeah,
That?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. Momo, no. Oh my gosh. I see what he's saying. They're like the ruler, like a wide mouth.
Wide mouth.
Gosh, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
The eyes in this particular one are. What is this character from?
I don't know.
Is it just some like fictional tale or like?
Someone made it, I think, and they started using it as a profile pic, and it just blew up from there.
Okay, I'm trying to see if there's like Rolling Stones articles. This is like an actual big thing.
Oh, it's a huge thing. Yeah, I'm actually surprised you hadn't heard of it.
The Japan Times. He's like, it's a big thing in Japan.
Yeah.
The Momo challenge hoax. The hell is this?
Oh, I think it was something like if you didn't do something, Momo was going to kill you. It's like Slender Man, you know?
Let's read this Momo challenge here since we're already into it.
Yeah, go for it.
This is a Wikipedia, by the way. Good source here. The Momo challenge was a hoax and an internet urban legend that was rumored to spread through social media and other outlets. It was reported that children and adolescents were being harassed by a user named Momo to perform a series of dangerous tasks, including violent attacks, self-harm. Despite claims that the phenomenon had reached worldwide portions in July 2018, the number of actual complaints was relatively small, and many law enforcement agencies have not been able to confirm that anyone was harmed as a direct result of this. Challenge sparked global panic and prompted urgent warnings from authorities and child safety advocates. Reports of children encountering Momo's disturbing messages circulated widely, causing a heightened fear among parents and caregivers. I have never heard of this.
It was something.
So it was like some hoax, some like elaborate thing.
It was pretty big.
Momo would tell you to do bad things, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And they'd kind of like threaten you a little bit if you didn't.
Fuck Momo.
Fuck whoever was behind it, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to make up. They
Yeah.
have a lot of time on their hands to make something like that up. Says the two guys telling scary stories here, but kind of like, okay, we'll see what Viv Games says. Viv Games is going nuts about this. But he said kind of like Slender Man and Red Mirror or whatever the mirror thing was. Yeah. But I think those are like things that you did like with your... This sounds like something that it was trying to get you to do terrible stuff.
Yeah.
Not look in the mirror and say bloody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Slender Man's pretty terrifying too, though. Let's be honest. We need to get some good Slender Man stories in here. I'm sure there's some.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll have to track down some weird stories like that next time.
Jeff Townsend Media. CG, good night.
And the question is, do I stay here? Will you be back? Are you gonna come back? Will you be back? Are you coming back?